The story of Shona women in Zimbabwe from the ancient Zhizo days to today is one of strength, grit, and change. These women have been the heartbeat of their communities, working hard, raising families, and shaping history. Let's dive into their exciting journey, focusing on what they did and how they lived in simple words that bring their world to life. Zhizo days, 600s to 900s, farmers and makers. Long ago in the Zhizo period, Shona women lived in small villages in southern Zimbabwe. They were the backbone of their families, working the land and making things to keep life going. Farming superstars. Shona. Women grew crops like millet and sorghum. They planted seeds, pulled weeds, and harvested food to feed everyone. Their hard work made their villages strong and even helped them trade with faraway people for beads and other treasures. Crafty creators. They made beautiful clay pots for cooking, storing food, and trading. These pots, found at places like Shroda, show how skilled they were. Women also wove baskets and prepared food, like sadza, a thick porridge that's still a favorite today. Family heroes. In small homes called kraals, women raised kids, cooked, and kept the household running. They were respected for their work, but men often made the big decisions. Great Zimbabwe and Mutapa times, 1000s to 1600s, building a kingdom. By the time Great Zimbabwe rose with its amazing stone walls, Shona women helped make it a powerful kingdom. Later, in the Munhumutapa Empire, they kept shining. Feeding a city. Great Zimbabwe was a bustling place with thousands of people. Women grew tons of crops to feed everyone. They also made beer for ceremonies, which brought people together. Spiritual stars. Some women were spirit mediums, leading bira ceremonies to talk to ancestors. This gave them respect and a special role in their communities. Work and marriage. Women's work was so important that families paid a bride price, called rura, with cattle or goods when they got married. In big families with many wives, women worked together to farm and care for kids. Colonial times, 1890 to 1980, tough days, brave hearts. When British settlers came in 1890, life got hard for Shona women. They lost land and faced new challenges, but they never gave up. New jobs, new struggles. With less land to farm, many women worked on white-owned farms or as maids in cities like Harare. These jobs paid little and were tough, but women kept going to support their families. Fighting back, during the Chimurenga uprisings in the 1890s, women helped warriors by cooking and passing secret messages. Later, in the 1960s and 70s, they joined the fight for freedom, working with groups like ZANU to end colonial rule. Keeping culture alive. Even as missionaries pushed Western ways, Shona women held on to traditions. They brewed beer for ceremonies and made colorful textiles, keeping their culture strong. After independence, 1980 to today, rising up. When Zimbabwe became free in 1980, Shona women got new chances to shine, but life wasn't always easy. They stepped into new roles while keeping their traditions. New paths. Today, Shona women are teachers, nurses, politicians, and business owners. Amazing women like Dr. Nyiradzo Mugodi, who fights HIV, and Air Lieutenant Gamuchirai Maria Mbigi, a top pilot, show what's possible. Many women also sell goods in markets or trade across borders, using skills from long ago. Farming queens. In villages, women still grow maize, vegetables, and cash crops. Groups like the Angel of Hope Foundation help them start projects like fish ponds to earn more money. Facing challenges. Even with new laws for equality, some women face violence or unfair treatment, but many are breaking barriers, choosing careers, or staying single to follow their dreams, like the women studied by scholar Tendai Manjena. Shona women today, strong and proud. From the Zhizo fields to modern cities, Shona women have always been unstoppable. They've farmed, crafted, fought, and led, turning challenges into victories. Whether growing food, raising families, or making history, Shona women are the soul of Zimbabwe, building a bright future with every step. Based on the engaging history of Shona women from the Zhizo age to the present, here are 7 questions that people often ask, reflecting curiosity about their roles, challenges, and contributions. Question 1. What crops did Shona women grow in the Zhizo period, and how did their farming help their communities? Shona women in the Zhizo period, 600s to 900s, grew crops like millet and sorghum. Later, they added maize, which became a big deal. Their farming fed families and made extra food for trading with faraway people for things like beads. This hard work kept villages strong, helped them grow, and brought in goods that made life richer. Question 2. How did Shona women contribute to the Great Zimbabwe Kingdom's success? In Great Zimbabwe, thousands to 1400s, women were the food heroes. They grew crops to feed thousands of people in this busy stone city. They also made beer for big ceremonies, bringing everyone together. Their work helped the kingdom trade gold and ivory, making it powerful and famous across Africa. Question 3. What was the role of Shona women as spirit mediums in traditional ceremonies? Some Shona women were spirit mediums in Bira ceremonies, acting like bridges to ancestors. They led prayers and dances to connect the community with spirits, giving advice and keeping traditions alive. This made them super respected as they held a special place in Shona spiritual life. Question 4. How did British colonialism change the kind of work Shona women did? When the British came in 1890, they took much of the Shona's land. Women couldn't farm as much, so many worked on white-owned farms or as maids in cities like Harare. These jobs were tough and paid little, but women kept going to support their families, showing their strength in hard times. Question 5. In what ways did Shona women help fight for Zimbabwe's independence? During the Chimrenga uprisings, 1890s, and the Liberation War, 1960s to 70s, Shona women were warriors in their own way. They cooked for fighters, passed secret messages, and even joined groups like ZANU to plan and fight. Their courage helped Zimbabwe win freedom in 1980. Question 6. What challenges do modern Shona women face, and how are they overcoming them? Today, some Shona women face violence or unfair treatment, with 1 in 3 dealing with physical abuse, but they're fighting back. New laws like the Domestic Violence Act help protect them. Women are also starting businesses, joining politics, and choosing their own paths, like staying single to chase dreams, showing their power. Question 7. How do Shona women balance traditional roles with modern careers today? Shona women mix old and new like pros. In villages, they farm maize and veggies, keeping traditions alive. In cities, they're doctors, pilots, or traders. The list is endless. Projects like fish ponds from the Angel of Hope Foundation help them earn money while honoring their roots. Despite the challenges, we also hear about the triumphs of modern Shona women. Let me give more light on the challenge of gender inequality. In Shona communities, traditional roles often prioritize family duties for women and at times limiting access to careers. Early marriage pressures can sideline personal ambitions. How they're overcoming it? Pursuing education through scholarships and programs. Several organizations offer scholarships for African students seeking higher education abroad. These scholarships, often covering tuition and living expenses, aim to promote academic opportunities and development in Africa. Some notable scholarship programs include the Commonwealth Scholarships. Becoming professionals in fields like teaching, medicine, and entrepreneurship, challenging gender norms. Economic hardships. Zimbabwe's economic struggles, including unemployment and inflation, hit Shona women hard, especially in rural areas with few job opportunities. How they're overcoming it: starting small businesses like farming, crafting, or trading, launching practical projects like the Jeka stove that has transformed the lives of rural women. This energy-efficient stove is a game changer. It uses a third of the firewood of a traditional stove. It produces more heat, so meals cook more quickly and efficiently. Plus, there's very little smoke. And for those who buy rather than collect their firewood, it means more money to spend on other essentials. Social expectations. Cultural norms emphasize marriage and motherhood, sometimes leading to early marriages or domestic violence, making it hard to speak out. How they're overcoming it: grassroots movements and NGOs provide safe spaces and legal support. Activists use radio and social media to raise awareness and inspire change. Healthcare access. Limited access to clinics and cultural stigmas around reproductive health create barriers, especially for rural women. How they're overcoming it: community health workers deliver education and services to villages. Mobile clinics and programs improve access to maternal care and contraception. Embracing technology. Limited internet access poses a challenge, but Shona women are finding ways to use technology to their advantage. How they're overcoming it: selling products online, from crafts to baked goods, using social media to connect, share experiences, and build supportive networks, including content creation. A bright future. Shona women are blending tradition with innovation, honoring their heritage while breaking barriers. Their resilience is transforming communities and inspiring the next generation. Question 8. Looking at the traditional Shona family, was the girl child given equal access to further their education? Let's go back in time to traditional Zimbabwean society. In many families, especially in rural areas, there was a strong belief that boys should go to school, while girls, well, they were expected to prepare for marriage. Why? Because people believed that when a boy got educated, he would one day provide for his family and carry on the family name. But if a girl got educated, it was seen as a waste because she'd get married and her husband's family would benefit instead. So families would often choose to send their sons to school, even if the girls were smarter or more hardworking. Girls were taught how to cook, clean, and take care of a husband because that was seen as their future. But here's the truth: Zimbabwean women have always been strong, smart, and capable. And over time, they started to challenge these traditions. Activists, mothers, and even some brave young girls began saying, "Why not us too?" Like mentioned earlier, today, many women in Zimbabwe are doing great things that were unthinkable before. But it all started with breaking down the old idea that only boys deserved an education. This part of history shows us how powerful tradition can be, but also how powerful women are when they stand up and say, "We deserve better." Question 9. What was the 1995 Affirmative Action Policy in Zimbabwe? In 1995, the Zimbabwean government introduced a powerful policy aimed at addressing gender imbalances, especially in education and public service. This policy is often referred to as the Affirmative Action Policy. and it was a major turning point for women and girls across the country. What here is what the policy did. The policy recognized that for many years, girls and women had been systematically disadvantaged, that is, kept out of school, left out of decision making, and underrepresented in jobs that required higher education. So, the government decided to take action. Here's how the policy changed things. 1. Education access for girls. Schools were encouraged to give priority to girls, especially in secondary and higher education. In some cases, if a girl and a boy had similar grades, the girl could be chosen to promote gender balance. Second, university admissions. Institutions like the University of Zimbabwe adopted a rule where female applicants needed slightly lower points than males to enter certain programs. This helped close the gender gap in higher education. 3. Government and employment opportunities. The policy also pushed for more women in leadership and government jobs, encouraging ministries and companies to promote women into higher positions. 4th, support for girl-child programs. It opened the door for NGOs and government programs to support girls through scholarships, mentorships, and campaigns like Send a Girl Child to School. Why was it a game changer? Before this policy, many girls were being pulled out of school to marry young, take care of siblings, or help at home. Education for girls was seen as less important. But this policy challenged that mindset and gave girls a fighting chance. As a result, more girls began attending and finishing school. More women entered universities. Zimbabwe saw a rise in female professionals, doctors, engineers, lawyers, and teachers. It wasn't a perfect system and challenges still exist today, but the 1995 Affirmative Action Policy was a bold first step toward gender equality in Zimbabwe. Summary conclusion. Wow, what an epic journey through Shona women's history, from tending fields in ancient Zhizo villages to leading as doctors, pilots, and entrepreneurs today. Shona women have woven strength and pride into every thread of our culture. Their work, courage, and traditions light up Zimbabwe's story, showing the world what it means to be truly unstoppable. What Shona women are known for? Shona women are known for many special things, both in the past and today, strong and caring. Shona women are often seen as the heart of the home. They care for children, cook, clean, and support the whole family. Even when times are hard, they stay strong and keep everything together. Talented in traditional skills. They are very creative and talented. Shona women are known for making beautiful things like baskets, clay pots, jewelry, and traditional clothes. These skills are passed down from mother to daughter. They also cook delicious traditional food like sadza, a thick maize meal, vegetables, and roadrunner chicken, a local favorite, keepers of culture and spirit. Shona women help keep traditions alive. They teach songs, dances, and customs to the younger generation. Some women also serve as spirit mediums or healers, helping connect people to their ancestors and guiding the community. Smart and powerful. Many. Shona women work hard in school and become teachers, nurses, businesswomen, or leaders in their communities. They also fight for women's rights and help young girls go to school. One famous example is Chitsi, a writer whose books tell powerful stories about being a girl in Zimbabwe. She gives a voice to many who are not often heard. Great storytellers. Storytelling is a big part of Shona culture. Women tell stories that teach lessons, explain history, and entertain. Today, they write books, poems, and plays that are loved all over the world. In short, Shona women are strong, skilled, wise, and full of heart. They keep culture alive, raise families, and build the future. If you're amazed by the spirit of Shona women and their timeless customs, smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into Shona traditions. Drop a comment below. Share what you loved most about their story or which Shona custom you want us to explore next. Join our community to keep the spirit of Shona culture alive. Let's celebrate our heritage together.